What is going on, guys? This is All Gaming with my review of Tokyo Ravens episode 13. And I'm actually really glad that this anime is back. I actually missed it, but now that it's back, we have a new episode that I can review. So it starts off with this quote that was asking, "Do you know what the heart of magic is?" And the answer to that question is lies. So that right there, really made me wonder, why is that? And of course, the person who actually, said this quote was Yako. And throughout the episode, we actually get these like little quotes as well thrown in there. And I was wondering if they were all from Yako, but I definitely know that one of them weren't. And so afterwards, we actually go to that one-armed ogre. He was like walking down some hall, and actually came across Doma. And so basically now, Doma is going to make a move, and he actually wants the Raven coat. And he has this familiar that he said that it's too quick for him to handle, because this familiar had told the ogre what was Doma's plan is. So I definitely wonder, who is this familiar, and will we see him soon? Because I was definitely, interested in that. So afterwards, this ogre, he had been alive for a very long time, just like Doma. And he said that his reason for living, because he actually does not want to get off on cheap trails like Doma does, but he wanted to find out what is his reason or purpose for being alive. So I feel like that this ogre might not be like really evil, even though he is talking to Doma and possibly working with him. I feel like that overall he actually might not be a bad guy. Like maybe at one point he could possibly betray Doma and join our the good guys. But I just feel like his character overall is not that bad. So now we have Harutora, who were dreaming about Hokuto, and he's realizing that Natsume and Hokuto are the exact same person, because we see that Hokuto is fading out and Natsume is replacing her. And throughout the episode, it's just so awkward between them, and you could just tell that there's this awkward tension that they definitely need to discuss and dissolve. And so afterwards, they were actually in this special kind of class where they had to control their spirit energy, because there were these swallow whips that will bind them if if they could pick up on the energy. And because Harutora, he is just so distraught, and his mind is so confused right now, because he is realizing that the person or the girl that he loved is actually somebody that is really close to him. And right now he's not really sure how to deal with that. So he actually got caught and he was kicked out. And then we see Tenma, he also fell victim to the swallow next. And so I actually do feel kind of bad for Harutora, just because I do wish that they would just talk it out, and I was hoping that would happen, and I thought it was, but I'll get to that a little later on. So afterwards, they were all leaving. They were leaving school. And we see that Tenma wasn't with them, and that right there, really surprised me. And they had mentioned how something had been like bothering him for a while, and then we get this little flashback where he was talking to Otomo, and we actually learned that his parents, they were actually pretty famous people. I am actually curious about how they died, but they actually made it possible for these mages that might not be so powerful to actually get these artificial familiars. And even those swallow whips, they were also artificial familiars as well that his parents made. Now for them to be so smart that they made their own company off of familiars like this, I do wonder how they meet their end, because you would think that people like this would be so powerful enough that they wouldn't die so easily. Now it's possible that Doma, he actually might have had a hand in the parent demise. So I do hope that we get like some kind of explanation for that. But it seems that like Tenma's character has a lot more to it that we haven't seen just yet. So I'm definitely wondering, where it's going to go for him. So when he's going home, he actually sees Hirata, who we all know is a Yako Devo. So like basically, every magical investigator we have seen so far is definitely evil, and this guy was no different, because he had come in for a question, but his real objective was to put this talisman on Tenma, which we see him do. And then we see this other talisman that actually flies to the agency, where it becomes this like awesome owl. I'm not gonna lie, that right there was like pretty impressive. So this owl, it gives a message where it was saying that like Doma is gonna come here to take the Raven coat. And that right there, really surprised me, because if you're planning this, why would you admit it? But of course, Doma has definitely, planned this all out, so it makes sense. And then right afterwards, we get another quote saying, "Do you know how frightening lies are?" And the most frightening lie is, and it stops right there. So then we go to this meeting between all of the Divine Generals, except for Suzuka, of course, because she is being like punished right now. And we actually learn the names of the rest of them, and it all has some pretty interesting titles. Like I believe one was called the Divine Eye, the Bond Princess, Flame Devil, and I believe that we know the rest. I know Sinjiro, I believe that was his name, like the guy that I really like it in the 12 Generals, like that guy. He has like an interesting name. I know that his first title started with an A, and the second one, it ended with a sword, but this guy, I definitely want to see him fight some more because he is just so epic to me. But after their meeting, he actually goes to another general, to tell him about that rumor, or to at least bring it up, how the agency, they have a fake coat, and the real one, that right there is in the academy or the prep school. And nobody knows if that's true or not, but he was saying that their leader, the divine fan, he had probably taken that into account already, and he's like planning on that. And we actually see that, one of his familiars, I guess you could say, it was like a hawk. It actually went there to talk to the principal. And I definitely, I am wondering what happened there, because if the real coat is at the school, then it would make sense for like Doma to go there. But I do think that rumor is true, because if they had the real one at the agency, then that right there, would definitely make it too big of a target. Even if they have all these majors, it would still be, it would still be out there too publicly. So it would make a lot more sense for them to have it, at another location. So that Raven coat being in a school, like, to me, it makes a lot of sense. Oh, I also forgot to mention, Harutora had been kind of, like avoiding Natsume, like not really talking to her. And she actually thought that he didn't like her anymore, which is crazy. And even, Choji said that, if she really thought that she really must be thick-headed. And when he was like willing, to tell her, her secret for her, I do feel like, at some point that might happen. Because if Natsume and Harutora, keep being like this and beating around the bush, then, their feelings will like never, be connected with one another. So something definitely has to happen. And when they finally said that they were going to tell each other, their secret, I was so happy about that, because I've been waiting all this time for it to happen, and I thought that we might finally get that. And even that scene of them, laying in their beds, and we just see them like facing each other, even with a wall there, like like between them. That right there, really shows a lot, and it just shows how strongly their feelings are. So the next day, while they're eating lunch, it was just quiet, and Natsume had finished first, and she was gonna leave, but Harutora he quickly came out there, and Choji spotted them, and I thought that this right there was gonna be a pretty good chance for them to talk, and even Choji had left. He left first so that they could have some private time together. And so when they were walking, like Harutora, what kind of like asking her like these questions, but he did not ask her directly. And so that right there, goes to show that something definitely was wrong here. And then when we got those quotes again, or at least when we got what was going through Harutora's mind, that's when I got a really bad feeling about this, because he said, what if he's wrong? If that's the case, then he wants things to stay the same. And so, if he accused her of being, a Hokuto, and let's say that she wasn't her, then that right there could make things extremely awkward between them. And when they just dropped this whole confession thing completely, like, to me, that right there just gave me like a real low blow. It was like somebody giving me a PS4 and they take it from me. And to make things worse, they actually kick me more while I'm down. I was so hoping for this confession to happen, and when it didn't, I'm not gonna lie, I was a bit disappointed. I've been waiting so long for them to confess to one another, and just like this, it was ruined. But then we actually, have another quote as well, where it was saying, the most frightening lie is a lie that deceives oneself, and that right there is a curse. And then we have Suzu, or as Harutoru calls her, the little girl senior. And I was actually surprised that she showed up. Like, to me, that right there was like really random. I'm not sure why she appeared like that so randomly, but she did. So now that their confession didn't happen, I was disappointed, like I really was. Because I've been waiting so long for that to happen. And for it to, to go down like that, and then, not happening at all, it really is, disappointing, because now we have to wait even longer for it to happen if it does. Because there's no telling now, especially, what will happen at the end, because the next day at school, we have Doma, who has summoned like all these demonic soldiers, and we just see them, moving along these buildings, because he actually attacking the agency. He didn't actually go to the school, but I have a feeling that he actually will go there soon. But that right there, is how the episode ends. And I'm not gonna lie, if he summoned, all those soldiers by himself, then this guy is a freaking boss. I'm definitely curious about what will happen next. I am hoping that our students, won't actually go there, because there is no way that, they could like handle them. I have a feeling we'll see Ultimo fight, because actually him and Doma did cross paths, and even though he actually lost a leg, at least he's alive. So that right there could make for a good rematch, and I'm definitely curious about this familiar as well. But as always, guys, please do not forget to like the video and subscribe, because that really helps me out. I would love to hear what you all thought about this episode. Were you disappointed that we did not get a confession? Because I definitely was. But as always, you guys take it easy, and I'll see you all next time.